this. Look at this is like 20 minutes of snorkeling around. Lightning works. I just want to talk about how amazing it is if you look between the cracks and crevices. Beautiful. Oh yeah, pour it in here.
Well, how's it going, missus?
Well, hello. We're going for a little adventure.
We're
Talking in the littles. Gotta really tuck them in there. Get them all warm for their adventure.
Big Thunder.
Yeah.
Hi.
Look at all his teeth this guy's
All
got.
right.
So
Well,
much teeth.
twin life is ridiculous, y'all. You gotta have dualies for everything. From the dually Bob, best stroller there is. We got dually Bobas. Oh yeah. Dually other daughters. You betcha. We got a spear, water bottles, the sword of the covenant. Have you read from your sword lately? You better. Got our machete, our saw, of course. If you don't have a tiny little folding saw. One of my favorites. And where's our fire kit? Naomi's got her backpack. Snacks, essentials. Don't ever mess around, y'all.
Fire kit.
Fire kit, no, that's our road flare stuff. Hold on.
Bundled up in wool.
Fire kits, you betcha. Bundled up in wool. We got cashmere, we got silk. Jane, what are you most excited? What do you want to see today?
I want to see a deer.
You want to see a deer? Ooh,
I want to see a bear.
nice, Nay. I want to chase that bear and run it through with a spear, don't you? So bad, so bad.
I want a wolf.
Ooh, I want to see a wolf. I hope it chases me. I hope I get to wrestle it. Live courageously. Go for good walks. You see that beautiful tree out there? That's
Here, Mom.
What'd you find,
Go
Nate?
back to the horse
Show us
spot.
something. Show us what you found.
See that little point? That's the frog.
Saw a frog.
It's the frog.
Oh, very good, Nay.
That's the frog.
And then what's the indented part, the deep part that's got water in it? What's that
This
from?
is the,
Nice.
that's the shoe.
That is an Osage orange tree. Yes, you mighty majestic warrior. Look at you, buddy. So beautiful. Always with their little wild cherry next to them. They love each other. They're always buddies. Best thing you can find. Wow. There's a bluff like this. See? You've got a good spot for a shelter right here. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
You betcha. Starting a fire down under here. This is what's so nice. You can start your fire down inside here, and then it radiates the heat. People have done that plenty of times.
Clearly.
And once you do that, you can hold the heat. Best be going on in there then.
You could go way down in there.
Yeah,
Okay.
fine. Oh, it's all wet.
Whoa, look at back in there, Nathan. That is so cool.
I'm gonna explore this cave. I'm gonna explore this cave. Whoa! Look! Look at me! Mom! Hello!
Hello.
Wow!
actually goes back even further.
No way.
It's filled with overburden.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Dirt and soil and...
Do you think a bear lives in here normally? Hi, Juby. Look at those chipmunks climbing up on the rock. Those beautiful little chipmunks.
I'm way up here. Look how high I am.
Look at you.
That's scary.
Kind of scary, but you're doing it. You're brave.
Look,
I
high.
see you up
You
there.
ever read about David? David?
David in a cave.
David was a massive caver. Every time you read about David wrestling lions and bears, you should think of him as an absolute explorer. The reason David was so savvy in the wilderness when he was on the run is because he'd been there, done that, y'all. One of the best things you can do, especially in your youth, is go explore all the scary places that people like to avoid. That's how you're going to know where to go, where most people don't want to. Now, in the cave, you have a temperature that's pretty consistent and steady all the time. So it provides you a layer of protection and warmth. And you get the snuggly feeling of being enclosed on all sides, which is great for ambushes. You betcha. So, I want to read the story about David in the cave of Adullam. One of my favorites ever. Sneaky guys doing sneaky stuff inside dark places.
Hi. 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 Hi.
What'd you find, Jane? Jane.
Found onions.
Onions, show us.
These
get some out.
are onions.
Yeah? How do we get them
You
out?
want-
Show us,
you-
Jane.
So you want to try to get the balls out? If you get the balls out, see, like this one, it doesn't have the ball on it, so you don't want that. So if you want to get the balls of them,
Maybe we should dig a little. Would that help?
yeah.
What did you say they are? Oh, I broke it off. I need a digging stick. There we go. You know, they go perfect with your dried mangoes. Should have a little onion with your mango snack. Oh, let's see. Oh, yeah. Boom. There we go. Look at that. A little onion snack. Onions to the rescue. They're one of the best snacks you can ever find out there because, you know, they pop up. They're like the first thing to pop up in the winter. When it's over, coming into the springtime, they're lovely. You can send your children out as a tedious task, but take that part, get rid of it. And they are sweeter than a normal onion. Like, they're really nice. They're good and good for you. You'll love them. Use them like chives. Chop them up, dice them up, put them in your eggs. Save the world, one onion at a time. We're getting to the whining phase right now. We're gonna do tons of walks in the forest. Not at this distance. We do lots of little walkabouts.
How does that sound?
Man, now they're not whining. I found the scene. Look at that. You know what that's from? A dead squirrel. Yes. It's the scene of a massacre. An owl came down. Maybe a hawk. Perhaps a great eagle. Punctured the side of the squirrel. It squeaked as it fluttered into the sky, only to be eaten alive later on.
Dad, that's so mean. You're so mean. What if you got killed? Where's this bottle?
Oh, you found a fossil. Nice. You little treasure hunter. Way to go. There you go. Lung it out, baby. All right. We're going to have to take a respite here. The rain's coming upon us. Good thing we prepared by wearing wool. Chelsea, how do you feel right now in your little ensemble?
Very warm. I have this amazing wool vest type of deal. It's like wearing a blanket. And then I just put a double layer over it.
And what's your neckerchief there?
Little cashmere. You did find a fossil.
Telling you, y'all.
Good job.
The layering of the natural fibers. Wool is amazing. He's layered up. Pants. 2 coats. Layers is where it's at. One of the fundamental life skills that every person needs to see in their life is layering. But not just with like the synthetics. I'm telling you, like I like to base layer my linen line. Then I put on silk. Silk is amazing at stopping the wind. And then, you know what? Sweet wool. Wool is incredible. I've got cashmere wool and some kind of creature hide as well. It makes a huge difference, especially when you're exploring those caves. Live vibrantly. Ooh. Nice. Gravel bar. Gravel bar. We're gonna look for treasures. Ooh, we got flowing water. Sweet. And a shirt. Apparently they didn't need it. Oh, it's immersion time, baby. Look at that. Hallelujah. Well, look at there. It's a mighty nice fine spot to camp. Come here, you big guy. Now we're gonna hear about the story of David in the cave of Adullam. And David went from there and escaped to the cave of Adullam. And his brothers and all his father's house heard it and went down to him there. And everyone who was in distress, everyone who was in debt, and everyone bitter in being gathered to him there. Does it sound like a lot of homies right now? Just saying. Y'all. This is where David's mighty men of valor, the Gibborim, this is where they came from. David called them. Not even in a, like, shofar blasting, hey, everyone come to me! But they understood that David had been persecuted wrongly. And these are people that knew David's reputation. They knew his name, his character, his identity, who he was. And they gathered there to support him. It's an incredible opportunity for them to become transformed because David is like the literal psalmist of psalmists. You know what I mean? You want to spend time around David as much as you can. And if that means you got to go live with him in a cave, you go live with him in a cave. It's pretty dedicated people. So he became head over them, and there were about 400 men with him. And David went from there to Mitzpeh of Moab and said to the sovereign of Moab, please, let my father and my mother come here with you till I know what Elohim does for me. And he left them there with the sovereign of Moab. And they dwelt with him all the time that David was in the stronghold. He did a good job taking care of his parents too. And the prophet Gad said to David, do not remain in the stronghold. Leave and go to the land of Yehudah. So David left and went into the Herath woods. Woods, y'all! Biblical. And Shaul heard that David and the men were with him had been discovered while Shaul was in Gibeah, sitting under a tamarisk tree in Ramah, with his spear in his hand and all his servants standing about him. This is when things go crazy bad. This is like the literal king of Israel is about to become the conspirer of the death of thousands, hundreds of the most important people in the land. This is a brutal story. And Shaul said to his servants who were standing around him, hear now, you Benjamites, does the son of Yeshai give any one of you vineyards and fields and make you all commanders of thousands and commanders of hundreds? For all of you have conspired against me, and there's no one who reveals to me that my son has made a covenant with the son of Yeshai, and that there is not one of you who is grieved for me or reveals to me that my son has stirred up my servant against me to lie in wait as it is this day. And Doeg the Edomite, dang Doeg the Edomite, who is set over the servants of Shaul, answered and said, I saw the son of Yeshai going to Nob, to Abimelech, and to a son of Ahitub. And he inquired of Yahuwah for him, and gave him food, and gave him the sword of Goliath the Philistine. And the sovereign sent someone to call Ahimelech, the priest, son of Ahitub, and all his father's house, and the priests who were in Nob, and they all came to the sovereign. And Shaul said, hear now, son of Ahitub. And he answered and said, here I am, my master. And Shaul said to him, why have you conspired against me, you and the son of Yeshai, by giving him bread and a sword, and have inquired of Elohim for him, to raise against me, to lie in wait as it is this day? And Ahimelech answered the sovereign and said, and who among all your servants is so trustworthy as David, who is the sovereign's son-in-law, and has turned aside to your counsel, and is esteemed in your house? Have I today begun to inquire of Elohim for him? Far be it from me. Let not the sovereign lay a case against his servant or against any in the house of my father. For your servant knew not at all of this, little or much. And the sovereign said, you shall certainly die, Ahimelech, you and all your father's house. And the sovereign then said to the guards who stood about him, turn and put the priests of Yahuwah to death, because the hand also is with David, and because they knew when he fled and did not reveal it to me. But the servants of the sovereign would not lift up their hands to come against the priests of Yahuwah. And the sovereign said to Doeg, you turn and come against the priests. So Doeg the Edomite put to death on that day 85 men who wore a linen shoulder garment. And he struck Nob, the city of the priests, with the edge of the sword, from men even to women, from children even to nursing infants. Oh no, Doeg the Edomite was killing even the babies. Super savage, y'all. It's like the original Jesuit Illuminati, absolute viceroys of death and despair. Doeg the Edomites, the sons of the serpent, they still live. And one of the sons of Ahimelech, the son of Ahitub, named Abiathar, escaped and fled after David. And Abiathar reported to David that Shaul had killed the priests of Yahuwah. And David said to Abiathar, I knew that day when Doeg the Edomite was there, that he would certainly inform Shaul. And I am accountable for all the lives of your father's house. Remain with me. Do not fear, for he who seeks my life seeks your life. But with me, you are safe. Man, David is the embodiment of a humble servant, because he recognizes that because he lied to Ahitub, Abiathar's father, he put him in a compromising position because he didn't actually know what was going on. When David first fled from Shaul, he goes to the city of Nob. He inquires of Yahuwah with the priests. And he's like, we had a very urgent message. We're on a mission from the king. We really need some bread. Feed us, please. And he's like, and do you have a sword? I didn't even get my sword. So he gives him Goliath's sword, which he had dedicated to him long ago. Dedicated it to him. And he's like, oh, I got Goliath's sword. And he's like, there is none like it. Apparently, this sword was one of one. Something absolutely unique about this sword. But that's the sword David literally uses in this fight in the wilderness. When David's fighting all of these people and doing his raiding mission, David basically becomes a mercenary army, but he's only hired by Yahuwah. Like, not only did 400 men come with him, too, you got to understand, there's wives and children. There's like families, like this style, living out there in the caves, on the run, persecuted people, wanted. Like, FBI's most wanted list was David's face and these 400 Gebarim and their families. It's a very peculiar story. When you look through the lenses of the scriptures, as if it's like an actual reliable historical text, because it is, you got to understand they're families, they're people, like normal people, not some kind of character thing. They're reality. They're doing their absolute best to survive in insurmountable odds. And they're overcoming, and they're getting to see the deliverances come through in most powerful and profound ways. Because David has Abiathar with him, he also brought an ephod, right? He brought like literally the way to inquire, shoulder garment. To inquire, you want my hide? I love it. I've never been more excited that you asked for a hide. Now you understand why Dad takes you to the leather store and we look for hides. You should want one. I've got reindeer hides at home. Now do you want to hide more? Yeah, it blocks the rain. Anyways, y'all, be prepared for persecution. If it does come your way, you know what? It may be the very season that prepares you for kingship. It may be the very thing that you need to refine you and turn you into the man or the woman of mightiness, the Giborim, the elite warriors of Yahuwah that you were made to be. Live valiantly. Experience inclement weather. Have a great time.
Chelsea, you found... Look.
I don't know if it's an artifact or if it's...
Oh, heck yeah.
If it's,
you see the conchoidal fractures on either side?
If it's a modern one that somebody did. You don't think?
It's been tumbled. You can tell the difference between one that's recent or old. Look at that.
Isn't that cool?
This is kind of literally, we were walking down here. We're like, this is the ideal stone. One of the ideal stones to work with. In a lot of these gravel bars, you find this, like more limestone. It's like this more tan stuff. But then show them some of that other material. You see, it's like, it's almost sheeny. Like that.
Like this kind of
that
stuff.
Color.
This
That's
kinda
smoother stuff.
smoother
That has not all these like random fractures going through it everywhere. Whereas a lot of the other stuff just has cracks everywhere. And it makes it really difficult. Like, you can't work with it very well. But if you have...
That's so cool. Look at that. That's so cool. Look. This is a good gravel bar.
We need to come back,
Yeah,
hang out here a good
during
while.
match day.
Dark is coming. We only got about 23 minutes till we're in serious darkness. It's okay, we got flashlights, bud. Sundowners is a real thing, parents. You know what I'm talking about. This is the area to hunt. So if we would hunt here, other people have been hunting here for a long time. You have nice water and you have a flat area above it that's above more or less the flood zone. It means people want to live there. That's the place people would live and occupy. So if you find their kitchen area, that's where a lot of times they would nap out stones. They would knock points and flakes. So you find that. But over time, what happens is during floods, that washes down into here and then washes away. So this makes it an ideal hunting ground for treasures, artifacts. We're making a dash back for the cars. The rain's coming down pretty good. We had poop explosions, of course. So we're wearing babies and we're pushing children.
Another win for the Bob.
Put the chains up. The Bob, y'all.